Billions of people will watch the next World Cup. Almost none of them know that this tournament has a birth certificate and that it was signed by a Pope in 1891. The Cup stops the entire planet every 4 years. 8 billion eyes on the same field. But what nobody tells you is that this tournament was not born of money, nor of politics, nor of sport. It was born of a document of the Catholic Church, written to defend the workers. And the golden trophy that crowned his dream was stolen twice, melted down, and never seen again. To understand this, I need to tell you the story of a 17-year-old French Catholic lawyer. He read a letter from the Pope and, because of it, invented the greatest sporting spectacle on earth. Along the way, a king and a stray dog saved this dream. But hold on. First, we need to go back to 1891. This is Better Catholic. If you like stories of our faith that nobody tells you, go ahead and hit like and subscribe, because this one is going to surprise you. Paris, 1891. A 17-year-old boy holds a paper that is still warm from the printing press. His name is Jules Rimet. He was born on the 14th of October, 1873, in a village called Thiuli, the son of a grocer. Raised in the faith by devout Catholic grandparents, he moved to Paris at the age of 11 in 1884, and on that day he reads a newly published document, Rerum Novarum, by Pope Leo XIII. The encyclical came out on the 15th of May, 1891. It was about something nobody expected to see in a document of the Church, the condition of the workers. And those pages had a profound effect on the young Rimet, because there was a simple sentence in it, almost revolutionary for the time. An idea so unsettling that years later it would change the way the whole world plays the game. But first Rimet had to test it in practice. So what did he read there? The heart of Rerum Novarum is an idea that, for that time, sounded dangerous. Leo XIII wrote that the employer must respect in every man, and I quote the encyclical, his dignity as a person ennobled by Christian character. In other words, the worker is not a muscle, not a tool. He is a person with the same dignity as the employer before God. And here comes the second part. Each one needs the other. Capital cannot do without labor, nor labor without capital. Think of a football match. The rich and the poor are two sides of the same field. Alone, the ball does not move. Only when they play together does the game happen. And this is not only economics, it is theology. The Catechism teaches that God willed to make of mankind one single family, treating one another as brothers. Rimet could have stayed in theory alone, like millions of Sunday Mass Catholics. But he did what almost no one does. He took the doctrine and turned it into a playing field. And the first place where he planted this idea had a curious name, Red Star, 1887. And here comes the shock for that time. The club did not discriminate against anyone by social class. It was open to anyone. At the end of the 19th century, this was radical. The bourgeois and the worker in the same jersey passing the ball to one another. The harmony between classes that was in the encyclical became literally a play on the football pitch. But if you can unite classes in a club, why not unite entire nations on a field? Rimet began to dream of a much larger field. A field where countries that yesterday were killing each other in war would meet in peace. He only lacked power, and the power came in a way he did not imagine. 1921, Rimet becomes president of FIFA, and it was not for a short time. He stayed from the 1st of March 1921 until 1954. 33 years, the longest tenure in the history of the organization. And on his initiative, in 1930, the first World Cup takes place in Uruguay. The Centenario Stadium had a capacity for 90,000 people. It was the largest stadium outside the British Isles. 13 national teams took part, but only 4 European ones agreed to the long sea voyage: France, Belgium, Romania, and Yugoslavia. The dream of fraternity among the nations, finally on a field. But one of those 4 European teams almost did not set sail. And the one who resolved it was, of all people, a king. The best players of Romania were trapped in a job. They worked for an English oil company that refused to release them to travel. 3 days remained before the FIFA deadline. That is when King Carol II of Romania steps in. Carol II picked up the telephone, called the head of the company, and threatened, either you release the players or I shut down your company. It worked. The players were released and boarded the ship SS Verde, bound for Uruguay. Rimet's dream was already moving kings. And at the center of all this madness, there was an object, the trophy that crowned the dream. Many people swear that it was solid gold, but it was not quite so. And its fate is the darkest part of this story. The Jules Rimet Trophy, used from 1930 to 1970, was created by the French sculptor Abel Lafleur. And here is the truth that corrects the myth. It was not solid gold. It was sterling silver plated with gold on a base of lapis lazuli, 35 centimeters tall, 3 kilos and 800 grams. And at the top, a winged figure, Nike, the Greek goddess of victory, holding up the cup. And Rimet created a rule in 1930. The country that won 3 times would keep the trophy forever. But before that, in 1966, the trophy simply disappeared. It was stolen on the 20th of March in Westminster in central London. The world of football panicked. And the one who found the trophy 7 days later was not the police. It was a dog. A black and white collie named Pickles, sniffing around a garden in South London, found the trophy wrapped in newspaper under a hedge. A stray dog saved the greatest trophy in football. A story like this nobody makes up. And Brazil? Brazil won the trophy for good in 1970 with its 3rd title. It was ours forever. But in 1983, it disappeared again. And this time, no dog saved it. The 19th of December, 1983, the trophy is stolen from the headquarters of the Brazilian Football Confederation in Rio de Janeiro. And this time it never came back. It is believed it was melted down and sold as gold bars. 4 men were convicted in absentia, but the trophy was never recovered. The gold melted and vanished forever. But think with me about what was left. The most worldly event on the planet, football, money, flags, patriotism, carries in its dyna the social doctrine of the church, faith that became concrete fraternity. Rimet took an idea from a paper warm off the printing press and turned it into practice. From Red Star, which united the classes, to the World Cup, which united the nations. In 1956, he was nominated for the Nobel Peace Prize for this. He died on the 16th of October of that year, 2 days after turning 83. The golden trophy was stolen twice and melted down. But the idea that a Catholic boy read in 1891 is still alive every time 2 nations greet each other at the center of the field. And maybe that is the only trophy that no one will ever manage to steal. And you, what do you think? Can sport still unite people and nations the way the Catholic Jules Rimet dreamed in 1891? Or has the World Cup today become only money, politics, and patriotism, and that Christian ideal has been lost? Leave it in the comments. I want to know your opinion. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell. Because every week there is one more story of our faith that nobody has told you.